Hello, traders. FX Pip Collector here. Today is Friday, April 17th, and this is my morning market breakdown of the US dollar pairs, including gold, and we also look at a couple of the yen pairs. As always, we start off with the US dollar index daily time frame because the dollar index basically is our roadmap that tells us what to do on the dollar pairs themselves. And on the US dollar, I still think this is likely a wave A right here, and I think the next move is going to potentially be up for a correction to this move down, so a wave B, and then I would expect to see another impulsive move down for a wave C. I think this is going to, over the next several weeks, make an overlapping pattern for an ABC of B, and then probably about 2 weeks from now, we're probably going to end up starting another uptrend for a wave C. I think this is a W, this is an X, and then we have an A, a B, and a C of wave Y. So let's keep that in mind. Let's take it down to a shorter time frame on the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame, we want to see a nice solid break above structure, which we really don't have yet. If it ends up rejecting this structure and instead breaking to the downside, it could actually end up making another wave down very easily. There's no end of a trend on any time frame yet. But I do think that there's a very good likelihood this is a wave 5 of wave A. It does seem very likely that we will get a break of structure. And if it breaks this structure, I think there's a very good likelihood that it will eventually go up and break this structure also, because the first move up should be an impulsive move for a wave A of that ABC of B, like I was showing on the daily time frame. So what we need to do is we need to take this information that we learned from analyzing the dollar index and we need to apply it to the dollar pairs themselves. If we think that at some point the dollar index could go up, then we need to expect the euro dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollar potentially to go down, maybe the dollar CAD and the dollar Swiss to go up. And gold does whatever gold wants to do as usual. So moving on to the euro dollar, back up to the daily time frame. Euro dollar definitely last couple of days have been pretty doji candles. So I mean, it does look like it is trying to find a resistance area right here. There's a nice little drop-based drop zone right here. We are sitting at the 161% Fibonacci extension. So definitely seems like a pretty good area of resistance. Now, if we are correct about the dollar index analysis, then potentially the next move would end up being a overlapping corrective move, most likely a wave B, and then a couple of weeks from now, we'd probably get another move up for a wave C, most likely end up looking something like this, and this whole thing would potentially be a pullback to this whole move down. So let's keep that in mind. Let's take it down to the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame, we really don't have that much of a solid break of structure yet. I think that potentially we are going to start looking for shorts maybe today, or definitely next week, but we could possibly still end up getting another wave up. So we have our Fibonacci extension on here. Like I was saying yesterday, this could be like a regular flat or maybe even an expanding flat. So if it does break to the upside on the 1 hour time frame, you definitely do want to get back to being long. But just keep in mind that if the dollar index starts pushing up, then this potentially is going to start pushing down, most likely making that wave A of wave B to the downside, like I showed on the daily time frame. So moving on to the pound dollar, going back up to the daily time frame. Pound dollar, it definitely did make a pretty decent little move to the downside. I really can't say that it's engulfing yet because it hasn't really engulfed any of the previous bullish candles yet, that is. But I think based on the dollar index analysis, this is likely a wave A. I think over the next several weeks, we're probably going to get a corrective overlapping pattern for a wave B and then probably another impulsive up for a wave C. This whole thing is likely going to be a pullback to this whole move down, either a wave B or a wave 2, just like what I showed on the euro dollar analysis. So going down to the 1 hour time frame. So, like I was saying yesterday, this one potentially does really look like a flat because it has 1, 2, 3 waves down, 1, 2, 3 waves up, and then potentially 5 waves down to the 161% Fibonacci extension. This looks like a 3-3-5 pattern. If it is a 3-3-5 pattern, then potentially this is actually going to start another impulsive wave to the upside like that. So we really can't say for sure that this uptrend is over on the higher time frames. It potentially could make another wave up. Maybe we grab these highs before it makes its real turn to the downside. It all depends on whether we get a nice solid break of structure on this 1 hour time frame, which we really haven't had yet. If it never breaks structure at a Fibonacci level, then it potentially could just keep on making lower lows and lower highs. So moving on to the Aussie dollar, back up to the daily time frame. Aussie dollar, same type of analysis, just a little different because the Aussie has been very, very strong. I think this right here is the end of a crescent, and then we have one, two, three, four, five waves up. I think over the next several weeks, same type of analysis. This is potentially over the next several weeks going to make a pullback to this last five waves up, and then eventually we'll get another impulsive move to the upside. But we really can't assume that it's doing that yet because there's no engulfing down, there's no lower high. We are sitting at a fib level, but that doesn't really give it us enough evidence to say that it really has turned yet. So going down to the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, we did get a pretty decent little fib bounce, but it's not just a fib bounce that confirms it's going back up. It's the fib bounce in a break of structure, and right here is the break of structure on the 1 hour time frame. So if it breaks structure, it potentially could make a run, maybe up to the 100%. If it does keep on going up, then I would expect a 100% Fibonacci extension from the daily time frame, right around the 0.721 area to be the next big area of resistance. If it doesn't break this structure right here, but instead makes a lower high and makes like an engulfing move to the downside, there's always a chance that the move to the downside has already started. But it does look like a lot of these dollar pairs potentially could make another wave to the upside pretty easily. So going it down to the US dollar CAD, back up to the daily time frame, dollar CAD has been very, very strong to the downside. I mean, it's very clear now to me that this is an ABC. Maybe what it's going to do is it's going to take out the liquidity right here before it ends up starting a pullback to this move down. And then potentially after a couple of weeks of a pullback is when you get another impulsive move down, just like our US dollar analysis. So going down to the 1 hour time frame. Really, on the 1 hour time frame, really the only strategy right now is to be short already from yesterday or maybe short from the Asian session. I definitely wouldn't be trying to go long right now, at least not without a break of structure, and I definitely wouldn't be trying to go short right now. I like to quote a line from my mentor and say that right now the only strategy is to either already be short, waiting for an exit, or the strategy is to be patiently waiting for a new pullback in order to get short. There's really no trade on this right now without waiting for a proper pullback in order to get short again. So, anyways, moving down to the US dollar Swiss. US dollar Swiss has been pretty sideways this week, but potentially because of our US dollar analysis, we know that there's probably a pretty good chance that this, it could go down, retest these lows, but I think over the next several weeks, we're going to get a pullback to the move down. And then after a couple weeks of a pullback, we're probably going to get another impulsive move to the downside. This is either going to be a one or a two, or it's going to be an A or a B. Luckily, we trade a wave A and a one the same, which is looking for shorts on shorter time frames. We trade a wave B or a two the same, which would be looking for longs on shorter time frames. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, we still don't really have much of a break of structure on this one. I mean, it definitely did go up and test structure, but it's kind of rejecting it, which tells me that there's always a chance that this goes down and makes one more wave. Maybe it needs to make like the final wave five to the downside. We really need to see a nice solid break and hold above this structure to really confirm that we actually have started that wave B or the wave two to the upside that I was showing on the daily time frame. So until we actually get this break of structure, we do want to consider that this could make another wave to the downside, and we potentially still want to be looking for shorts in a downtrend. Moving on to gold. Gold is very, very highly affected by what's going on in Iran, and that's probably why the market's been a little slow these last couple of days. But I still think that gold potentially is going to go up into this area, which is right around 51.50 to maybe 51.2 area, someplace in this area. There's a nice little drop-based drop zone right here. Also, we have like the 161% Fibonacci extension right there, which seems like a very, very good target. I think this is potentially going to do this to finish off a wave A, then potentially make a pullback to the whole move up, wave B, and then go up again for a wave C. This is the daily time frame also, so I think it's going to take several months for this whole ABC pullback on the daily time frame to play out. So I'm definitely still very, very bullish overall. Going down to the shorter time frames, I mean, obviously, if you're trading like the 1 minute time frame or something, ever since this thing started making lower lows, lower highs, you'd be looking for shorts. But at the same time, you would have your Fibonacci retracement from here to here, and you would be saying to yourself, if we get a break of structure to the upside at any one of these fib levels, then you would definitely, definitely go back to being bullish because the weekly time frame is definitely up, the daily time frame is definitely up. Those higher time frame trends are definitely your friend. So if you get a break to the upside, you for sure want to stop looking for shorts and start looking for longs. There is definitely a chance that it pushes down a little more. I mean, it doesn't really have to end at this 38%. It could go down to the 50. It could go down to the 61%. It does look like it has that ABC shape. So if it does break up, I would for sure go back to being bullish. And let's move on to the yen pairs. Overall, like I've been saying, my target on the dollar yen is right around the 161 area, 160, like 160.8 to 161 area, because that is a weekly time frame Fibonacci level that never did get hit. Now, it definitely made a really nice little fib bounce right here. I mean, we potentially could already be heading up to that area right now. So far, we really don't have an engulfing up, so we do need to be a little bit cautious, but I think it potentially has already made the turn. Like I was saying in yesterday's video, once we get this break of structure, we want to start looking for longs, right? So we had a break of structure, there was a long right there in the Asian session. Now it's pulling back again. We want to put our Fibonacci retracement on there, and we want to observe these fib levels and see if we could potentially get another long out of it maybe today. So I am for sure looking for longs. I'm watching Fibonacci levels for areas of resistance, and I'm going to continue to look for longs unless we get a nice solid break to the downside, which right now a break to the downside would be right here. So now that we got the break to the upside, we're looking for it to now make higher highs and higher lows, hopefully all the way up to about the 161 area. Now moving on to the euro yen, back up to the daily time frame. I still think this is a way B on the euro yen. If it is a way B, then when it engulfs to the downside, it could start a brand new impulsive move to the downside. Now, it hasn't actually done that yet, but these candles right here look very, very indecisive, like it potentially is going to break to the downside at some point, potentially, within the next few trading days. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, currently the structure that is going to prove to us that this move up is fittest is right here. So if it breaks below here, then I would definitely become very, very bearish, and I would for sure be looking for shorts every single pullback I see. But it really hasn't actually proven the move down yet, and we can't assume that the move down has started until we get some sort of a nice break. So we still want to throw out Fibonacci retracement from here to here. We still want to look at every move to the downside like we have been over the last several weeks, and we still want to try to go long on every single pullback we see, unless it keeps going down and it breaks this low. Then that's going to change us from being bullish to being bearish. And moving on to the pound yen, back up to the daily time frame. The pound is a little bit weaker than the euro currently, and just like the euro, the pound over the last several days has had these very indecisive candles. We are sitting at a Fibonacci extension level. We did recently take out this high. Seems like a very good area where this potentially could go down. And if it really is a wave B like it looks like it is, this looks like 5 waves of A, this looks like 3 waves of C. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves of uh, ABC. So 5 waves of A, 3 waves of C, 5 waves of C also. So it looks like it is ready to turn, and if it does turn, it most likely is going to make an engulfing move to a nice impulsive move to the downside, which should go down and take out these lows at least below the 207 area. So potentially it could be getting very close within a few trading days of starting a brand new impulsive move to the downside. It has almost made the breaker structure. I think the breaker structure area on this one is right here. I would like to see it go down here, but if it breaks this right here, then I will definitely start looking for shorts. While I'm looking for shorts, if it eventually goes down and breaks this, then that's what's going to help confirm to me that the daily time frame way B is complete. Unfortunately, it really hasn't broken any structure yet, and trading with the trend has definitely been the most profitable thing over the last several weeks, and potentially it is still going to be the most profitable thing. So if it doesn't break structure to the downside and just continues up, then just trade with the trend. The trend is your friend. If it breaks and holds below here, then definitely start looking for pullbacks. And while you're looking for pullbacks, if it goes down and takes out this low, that is hopefully going to help confirm that the way B on the daily time frame is over. If the way B on the daily time frame is over, we potentially are going to be starting a very large impulsive move to the downside on the very high time frames. So anyways, don't forget to check out my website, fxpipcollector.com, especially if you want to follow along with all my trades and be part of a great trading community on Discord. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a great weekend and happy trading to everyone.